Boom! What's going on, everyone? It's Steve Larson from Secret MLM Hacks Radio. Today I'm going to teach you guys about the MLM Sales Dance. If you're like me, you know MLM is an amazing opportunity to grow a real asset for yourself. But you also see that there's huge issues starting to emerge. Like, why haven't big MLMs let tactics change in over 30 years? Or why have they been cutting commissions smaller and smaller? Or even, how dumb is it that old MLM rules say you'll get in trouble when you use the internet to grow your team? These are some of the blaring questions we all face today. This podcast will show you how real MLMers like us are waging war on the old dying methods. And we aren't cheating by only bugging uninterested family and friends. Follow this podcast while I expose the shocking methods I'm using to build my 10,000 person downline and get people begging to join my team daily. Here's to the new tactics without all those old, rusty MLM shackles. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. Today I'm excited about this, guys. Okay, a little while ago, I was able to go in and teach some high executives in an MLM, and it was a lot of fun. It was intimidating. I didn't realize that I was talking to the CEO and the formulator and all the, like, I didn't realize that was the people who were in the room. Anyway, and I was talking with them, and this is not a bash, but I want you to understand like what was going down. I was teaching some people different marketing strategies and methods, and too often. So I was talking to a few people inside of their MLM, and you know, sometimes companies will have me come do some consulting for them, things like that. So anyways, I was there, I was hanging out with them, and I was chatting, and some of their MLMers, right, some of their distributors of their product, I would ask them questions like, you know, well, how does it sell? Why does it sell? Stuff like that. Those are all questions that I ask. And too often, this is the answer that you will hear both from MLMs themselves, like corporate, and their actual distributors and people who are there promoting the stuff. And too often, what people will say is, well, hey, Steven, the reason why people buy our stuff is because the product is just so good. Guys, that is garbage, okay? Nobody buys your product because it's that amazing, okay? And even if it is that amazing, which I'm not saying it isn't, okay? But hear me what I'm saying. Nobody buys because of the product. Products do not sell themselves. They don't, okay? There is this entire external thing going on the outside of it. When you get into an MLM, you own zero assets. You don't even own the downline you're building. You don't own the product. You don't own any of the sales messages itself. Like, does that make sense? You don't own anything. Nothing. You're a commission-based salesman, basically, right? And until you look at yourself that way and learn sales psychology and what is actually happening, you will suck at selling, okay? And there's a lot of products that are out there, right? An MLM, you'll walk out. Tell me if you haven't heard this, right? Where you step on out and they're like, all right, I'm excited. I remember one of the first MLMs I was ever a part of. I was like, so what's the best way to sell it? They're like, this product is so good. All you got to go do is just go get it in front of people and it's going to sell it for you. Guys, that's garbage. People are going to buy it just when they see how good of a deal it is. That's not a sales pitch. That's not a sales message. Okay, when you hear an MLM telling you that, I'm not telling you the product's not good. I'm telling you they're not actually equipping you with the thing that causes the sale. And so that's what this episode is about. We're actually going to cut over again to a Q&A session that I did for the group inside of Secret MLM Hacks, if you guys are part of that program. This is one of my favorite walkthroughs of what I call the sales dance. Okay, and this is what is happening. I want you to know that there are different chemicals in the brain, and some of you guys have heard me talk about this before, but there's different chemicals in the brain that are being hit. But then there's also, right, there's like a waltz that's happening every time a sales message is going down. And this is the reason I'm going to tell you right now, okay? You're going to see in this episode why you feel awkward talking about your product, okay? I'm just going to call it out as it is, all right? You guys know the theme of this podcast now, right? I'm being very direct on the stuff. If you feel awkward talking about your MLM product, which I know a lot of people do, if you feel awkward approaching people about your thing, which I know a lot of you guys do, right? I did for a long time. The major issue is not that the product is not good enough. Did you hear what I just said? Right? I know people who will go in and they like shotgun join MLMs. That one, right? And they'll go shotgun join as many MLMs as they can. And they'll go do it because they're trying to find the product that's so awesome that people just have to buy it and get in the ground floor opportunity. That is not like focusing on the wrong crap. Like that's not the stuff that causes success inside of MLM. It's not. Success in MLM is not based on getting in on the ground floor of an MLM. It's not. Okay, wake up call. It's not about the product being absolutely incredible. It needs to be, but it's not what causes the sale. Okay, it's not about you getting in and getting your 3 to get their 3 to get their 3 levels down, and then suddenly you can just get off the wheel and stop and let go of the gas. Okay, it can help, but it's not what causes success. Okay, any sale in general is dependent on a sales message, not the product. All right, not the product. And so what I want to do is walk through in this episode, we're going to cut over, you're going to watch me, I'm going to go through 4 chemicals that the brain experiences during a sale, but then I'm also going to walk through and I'm going to show you guys the 2 things that are happening inside the brain every time you bring up some piece in the sales message, okay? If you cannot tell me what your sales message is and you're frustrated in MLM, that is the reason, okay? That's the reason. It's because your product is never good enough to sell itself. But that's like what we're told. Take the thing, go throw it in front of tons of people, right? It's network marketing, meaning use your network, right? There is no sales message. And that's where a lot of the times people get like that weird feeling. People like to buy stuff, guys. And too many times though, the reason why like they're not buying from you is because you're not giving them the opportunity to. You're going straight to, let's get married before asking for a date, okay? I need to teach you about what the sales message is. And I need to teach you what's happening inside the customer's brain. This is true for all sales, but you don't see any uplines teaching this stuff because they don't know it, okay? This is where network marketing, MLM, direct sales, like that's where that weird feeling can come in. And if you're still experiencing that, it means you haven't learned how to actually sell, right? And it's not a dirty word. It's not a 4-letter word, okay? It's not something that's going to get you in trouble. Selling is the most prestigious, amazing profession in this planet. You understand if a sale doesn't happen, the economy stops and all families and everything else is like right, everything dies. Right? Everything goes back to third world countries when someone doesn't learn how to actually get an economy running. You know what I'm saying? I'm being dead serious. I'm not being funny with that, okay? Sales is amazing. Be proud you're a salesman or woman, okay? And that's what you need to become if you really want to make it in MLM, okay? Newsflash, okay? If you want to be successful in MLM, you need to either you gotta have 1 or 2 things: a gigantic following ahead of time, right? A huge budget to spend a lot of money in ads, which some MLMs are still stupidly saying no to. It's dumb. Are you kidding me? Right? I guess there's 3 things, right? So you could have a giant following. I mean like colossally massive following, which just throws you into immediate success. A lot of people don't have that sitting in their back pocket. So they've got at least in their back pocket, then there's got to be a huge, massive amount of cash so they can drive ads to get a lot of people's attention quickly that way, right? Oh, if you don't have one of those 2 things, the third option you have got to get good at sales and duplicating your sales message. That's what Secret MLM Hacks is. That's why I created it, because I was so sick of the garbage that's pushed around in this industry. Okay, so I love MLM. I don't want you guys ever think I'm throwing rocks at MLM itself, but like what is being taught, the tactics drive me up the wall. So this episode, guys, just so you know what we're talking about here, and it's a little bit longer, I understand, but you're gonna watch me walk through the psychology of like kind of like the sales waltz, the sales dance of what's going on inside the brain. The more you understand decision-making psychology, the more you understand why people make decisions, the more you understand behavioral tendencies and why people make decisions and why they do what they do, the better marketer, the better seller, the more fat your wallet will actually be. So that's the purpose of this episode. So, hey guys, thanks so much. Let's cut over now, and you guys are going to see me walk through, again, 4 chemicals of the brain. Some of you guys have heard me talk through that, but then also, even more importantly, the waltz that's going on inside of the brain after that. Guys, let's cut over there. We'll see you on the next side.
You can't remove the thrill of purchasing from your customers. They want to buy stuff from you guys. They want to buy stuff, but a lot of times what will happen is we actually keep people from buying our own thing because we're afraid to ask for money, okay? So real quick, 4 happy chemicals of the brain, right? Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. These 100% have to do with sales, okay? Okay. Dopamine, right? Anytime I get on Facebook, how many times do you get on Facebook every day? How many times do you guys check your phone each day, right? They have engineered those suckers to give you a dopamine hit, right? Which they do. And anytime you get a text message, you feel good, right? You feel a little bit good. You like it. Oh, yeah, right? There's a dopamine hit that comes with it, right? The same kind of dopamine that comes from any kind of drug, from any kind of, anyway, it's fascinating. Very addictive, comes naturally in the brain though, okay? This is the chemical of distraction, okay? I want to get distracted and I don't want to go build a funnel like Steven's telling me, what I'm seeking instead is a feel-good chemical distraction. Now again, nothing wrong with it in proportion. You know, it's something natural that comes from the body, right? But people get addicted to the dopamine because it is a distraction chemical. Okay, if I'm gonna go like when I would sneak off when I played video games in high school instead of doing homework, I'm seeking distraction rather than the pain of the homework. Does that make sense? Oxytocin is the connection chemical of the brain. Okay, this is actually the one that we seek the most. It's also the hardest to get. Okay, this is when we want to have a connection with somebody. This is what makes us have a connection and fall in love with people. This is actually the chemical that makes us want to procreate. Okay, this is the chemical inside. People want, though, to feel connection. They want community. They want to feel like they're part of something. It's the hardest of the four to get, but people want to feel that. And so if you can go in and you can start saying like, hey, when you come in and you buy from me, X, Y, and Z, or when you come in and you buy, you guys imagine what this product would be like if this community did not exist, right? You guys get an oxytocin hit, man. When I go live on this thing, I know that. A lot of you guys are planning your whole days around this, even though you could watch the replay. Wait a second, what? Why? Fascinating, isn't it? I gotcha. Yeah, I got oxytocin with Steven Larson running straight through your noggins, right? And that's what I'm trying to help you guys understand. So you understand the sales psychology as far as like, look, you got to be good at marketing, you got to be good at selling, you got to be at closing. But man, understand what's going on in the person's head, because a lot of times you're just not hitting enough of these good feel-good chemicals that are natural in the body inside of your own MLM sales process. Okay, right? Serotonin is the chemical of status. Okay, what's the status that I give you guys when you join me? It's a status increase. I'm not saying negative status like, oh, look how good I am, okay? But there's a little social status kind of like, yeah, I'm a maverick, baby. Freaking A. I'm a maverick. I do things different. I do things smarter, right? And we even have our own manifesto, which is freaking kick butt, which I'm really excited about. I think we're going to ship that out to you guys sometime soon. Right? It's a status chemical, right? If I get no status boost from buying your supplement product, right, versus the other guy, it doesn't matter which one I buy. If I get a status boost from the knowledge of knowing that I get this huge, sick, awesome offer, right? This thing over here, I'm like, yeah, check that out. That's so freaking cool, right? That's a status increase. I'm a maverick, son. Yeah, right? There's some status behind that. And what's cool about that is that it's harder to switch somebody who's had a status boost away from their current product, because it means that they have to have an identity shift. You do this by giving them a new identity. I'm a maverick, son. I'm a maverick, right? Right. I want to ship out to you guys a whole bunch of aviators. That's one of the things I want to add into it. I actually want to ship out to you guys too some of these coins, like little things like that. They mean a lot to me. They mean a lot to me, but they're mementos. They are reasons for why I do what I do. I am trying to change the world, all right? And you guys are with me on this, and it's working. It's working, okay? It's been a ton of fun, okay? Endorphins. I think I'm spelling that right. Oh, oops. Endorphins. There we go. Endorphins are like, endorphins are one of the easiest ones to get. That you have to work for them. Okay, you don't have to really work for dopamine, which is the reason it's so easy to get and why it's so addictive. You have to work for endorphins a little bit, right? But you still feel good. Things like working out, right? Working out gives you an endorphin release, okay? But you still have to, there's still some action required in order to actually hit it. A little bit of action, just a little bit of action. As soon as I get just a little bit of action, right, a little bit of input on my side, right, dopamine and endorphins are the easiest two to get, right? Bam, bam, those are easy. Status, serotonin, right, and connection, oxytocin are the ones that are the harder ones to hit, right? But if I can get you guys a status increase by giving you an identity shift, okay, and giving you a status increase by letting you know, check it out, I give you all this stuff. I have a status boost knowing that I got a better deal. Look how much stuff I got. Look how much stuff I got in that offer at just the normal price. I am a wise buyer. I'm a wise consumer, right? And that's what they feel, and I want them to feel that, and that's great, okay? But the same thing comes down to true with oxytocin. If I can give you guys connection, there's a reason that is the very first command, the very first call to action they give you post-purchase. Is so that you come inside the group and you do things like introduce yourself to everybody else. If someone comments back besides me, boom, oxytocin hit. You two have a connection now that I could not have created, right? And you have a little bit of, right? And that's the hardest one to get. That's the hardest one to get. And as soon as you have, snap, just that little tiny connection, suddenly, you start feeling a slight, there's negative addiction, there's positive addictions, right? You feel a slight positive addiction to the content, even though you haven't gone through it yet. Isn't that fascinating? This is fascinating crap, okay? You understand, like, and then right here, there's marketing, selling, and closing. You're trying to hit each of these inside. If you can weave those inside of the actual buying experience, that's a big deal. That's a huge deal. So right off the bat, first off, Billy, but before even looking at anything that you've put out, ask yourself where we feel like the ball is being dropped. If I go and I tell this really awesome story, let me make sure you guys can see the screen. Yeah, you can't kick it. If I go in and I tell these awesome stories, and I'm telling these origin stories, right? And I'm telling these stories, and I'm like, hey, man, there's a story, and I was really overweight, and then I took the supplement, and I lost all this weight, and you're able to do it in an emotional way, I have a high likelihood of creating a connection with you, right? Boom, right? And if I tell it in a way where you become the protagonist in my story, I actually can give you a little bit of a status increase, okay? I can actually even, like, there's a whole bunch of these chemicals I can hit just by telling you stories, right? I can give you an endorphin hit if you buy, which is why people like to buy, all right? And I can distract you through the story as well. I can make you laugh. I can give you some feelings of rapport, all right? I can make you like me. I can be funny. I can be powerful. I could be a victim. I could be in jeopardy, right? Those are the different 5. If I can give you 2 of those 5, bam, I will effectively done some of the items on here. So start thinking through like some of the ways, because buying is an emotional experience which we justify logically later. Okay, buying is an emotional experience which we justify logically post-purchase. Okay, but we are not in a logical state when we purchase because we're so hopped up on freaking goofballs here, right? On bam, 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 right? We are logical, but really we're emotional. Okay, and so we're going through here and we're saying all these emotional things, right? We're dealing with the emotional psyche. We are changing the way the person sees the world, and then afterwards, right, we're dropping in with our offer, which is this part right here, and giving a bunch of reasons why they should give the cash right now, right? That's closing. That's closing. Anyway, that was a good one, huh? Anyway, I'm going to save that one. That's going in a book. Anyway, I just know, like, and that's the issue you have to understand with a lot of MLMs. Okay, think about what the standard MLM is teaching you how to do. And if you're like, I don't know that I want to do this stuff, you've got to understand, like, this is selling. Okay, any decision. I'm not just saying, like, buying products. You're gonna sell somebody on a new habit they have to create. You're gonna sell somebody on doing something different in their life. It doesn't have to do with money. Any kind of action goes through this kind of process. Any kind of moving forward or progression goes through those chemicals of the brain, right? And if I can weave in elements of you connecting with other people, not just me. If I can weave in status increase, right? Feeling good both by rebranding who they are as a person, giving them a brand new identity, shed the old one, kill it, right? That's exactly what I do also from a macro level, throw rocks at that old MLM way, right? If I can get you to do that, if I can get you to take action and feel some progress and actually just do module 1, you'll feel an endorphin hit, right? Because you've had some progress. You've learned things. You're like, crap, I didn't know that. That's amazing. You get, right, this is very emotional. All right, it's all very, very emotional. These are all the happy drugs that obviously go inside the head. If I can distract you every once in a while, right? All right, and please understand, like, the nerve-wracking part I have of telling you all this, I don't want anybody to feel like, oh, Stephen totally got me. Like, no. Please take it as like $1 million lesson, okay? To go in, understand, and learn how sales happen. It is not about your product. Sales don't happen because you have the best ingredients from the most obscure places on the planet. That's not what anyone buys. That's like maybe a little line item over here in the last part of closing. Hey, did you know, hey, we also use the best ingredients. Oh, sweet. Well, heck, throw in the towel. I'm going to go and do that. But if I haven't had any kind of emotional response to the person, I got no drugs running in their head, right? I haven't built up an offer, and I have no option then at that point to simply sell on features, which is what MLMs do. We have the best product. We have all the crazy ingredients from here and there. You have the best comp plan. That's fantastic. Absolutely awesome. No one buys for that though. Okay, that's not the reason anyone purchases, and it's not the reason why anyone runs out the door saying, "Take my credit card," right? And if you can figure that out and understand that that's how a sale actually does happen, and people want that, you're gonna do great. Okay. When I first started learning this stuff a while ago, I almost felt conflicted over it because I was like, "This is some seriously powerful stuff," and it is. You are literally affecting the way somebody sees the world. Please do things ethically with it. This is not normal stuff. These are levers in the actual human psyche. You can turn on somebody. I mean, this is the closest thing to X-Men and real mind control, okay, that actually exists on the planet. And you got to understand the power of it and the power behind all this stuff and why it works, okay? And there's a dance that happens in sales processes. Here's the dance. You come out and you make a statement saying that somebody needs to buy. They want to buy already. We know, right? There's a great book called The Consumption Instinct. It's something that we all have, especially in Western culture. We buy crap, okay? We buy stuff. Do you think people are buying less things nowadays or more? They're buying more things at an increasing rate or a decreasing rate? Increasing rate, okay? And if you're not selling at an increasing rate with the market that's consuming at an increasing rate, you have to ask yourself, what is it that you are not doing that the rest of the market is? This, okay? That is what it is, okay? And so this is the dance. All selling is this way. I'm going to go and I'm going to tell you a story and then ask you to buy. And you're going to come back and you're going to go, but what about, and you're going to give me a wall. Okay, and then I'm going to come back out, and the wall's going to combat you, and you say, "Oh, I get it. Yeah, no, I totally get it. I agree with you. I understand. I see your wall. I see your wall." You just acknowledge the wall. That's all you're doing. I acknowledge the wall, and then you're going to take a little step, and you're going to step out from the side, and you go, "Okay, but story, buy." Okay, and then you're going to go, "Oh, but." Right, and you're gonna change locations. You're gonna, okay, but I get it, and you know what? I do want to buy. I see it. I see you. Yeah, listening. Yeah, but wall. And then you're gonna go, I understand. I really do. I get it. I see what you're saying. I see what you're coming from. But story. And try and close again. Buy. And then you're going to pop back out again with another wall. You go, "Oh, but I don't know." Move this thing. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Wall. Finally. This is typically where the final one happens, okay? Where you go, "I see it. I see you. I see your objection. Makes sense to me why you would have it, but story, buy." And these walls and these objections in the head naturally occur in the order of a product-based objection, okay, which is a vehicle. This is a vehicle-based objection about the product, right? I'm telling you, look, this product has the wheels. It is the vehicle to get you the desired outcome you're going for. You're like, sweet. Okay, oh, but, and you're like, "I see you, I understand. But man, did you know," all right? And then the next objection, typically in the brain, goes to insecurities, okay? It goes to my capacity as a human being to pull off what that product actually is. I don't know if I can be consistent taking that supplement every single day. I don't know how to exercise. I don't know how to work out. I don't, not good enough. Insecurity, okay? All right, so the first wall is usually, big wall, usually about product. Next one is usually about internal, let me say internal or insecurities, okay? And the next thing, okay, the next thing in here is about external. There, it says external, okay? External. And external meaning Resources. I see that the product has possibility. I see that I have the ability. There's a possibility. I could actually probably pull that off. I don't have the resources. I don't have enough time in my day. I don't have the support from my spouse or loved ones. I don't have money for this, but I see that it could work, right? And so you have to, this is the order of objections that the brain logically, but it's actually emotional, goes through during a buying or any decision in your life ever. And so when you're thinking through how to actually make people do stuff, how to actually get people to do things, they're doing this. You want to go to a movie? Vehicle-based objection. I don't like that movie. That's a vehicle-based objection, right? Right? I do like that movie. You know what? I don't know if I'm old enough for that. I don't know. Maybe you're going with a few kids, right? Or you got some kind of insecurity along the way, right? Next objection. You know what? I want to see that movie. I see that I'm able to see that movie, but I don't have any money, or I don't have time, or I'm gonna miss the previews. Like for me, if I miss the previews, I don't see the movie. The previews for me are always are just as enjoyable as the movie itself. I love previews. It's a sales message, every one of them. Okay. Anyway, so story. You see that as 4 major stories. So Billy, if you're looking at your script, you gotta know exactly what wall they're throwing to you, right? The category that the wall fits in. Okay, is that a product-based objection or a vehicle? Is that an internal-based objection or their insecurities? Or is that an external-based objection or their resources? Okay, is this a resource? Resources, that's the easiest one to kill. Okay, internal, that's a big one for people a lot of times. Okay, they're like, man, I'm just not good enough, or I don't deserve to be wealthy. I don't deserve to not be poor. I've done too many bad things in my life. Like that's a big psyche one especially when it comes to MLM stuff. This is the first MLM, this is the first money-making thing I've tried. Am I a bad person because I want to make money? And they freak out. Like that's a huge one, especially in the MLM space. Product, that's a big one also, right? Does that product have the ability to X, Y, and Z? And people's natural tendency is to get into features. Well, yeah, it does because of this feature and that feature and that feature. Don't ever do that, okay? Fish slap the crap out of that. Okay, you gotta understand that it is about story. So instead, you come back and you tell a story of someone else who used it. Anyway, is this helpful? Like it's just another way to explain the same things that I go through. But I hope that it's helpful. Okay, hopefully you see why this matters so much. Okay, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna create 4 chemicals in your brain. Okay, during the 3-phase sales process. Okay, and inside the sales process. Right? The marketing portion of any sales script is this, right? It's this dance. It's a sales dance. Here's this objection. Oh, I see your objection, but, and then you close again. You're like, oh, but here's another objection. I see your objection, but here's another story. Close again, right? You're just hitting from different angles. Bam, 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 bam. I had one of my early sales coaches, like 6 years ago. Crap, that was 6 years ago. One of my early sales coaches, he'd always taught me, he said, you got to understand that your resolutions to get over objections are like arrows in a quiver. And he said, you got to keep a huge quiver, and always be sharpening those bad boys, okay? It's like what you don't do is you don't take every arrow out at the same time and fire every arrow at the person. That stresses them out, right? Stresses them out, okay? Instead, what you do is you say, little tiny story and go immediately for the close. A lot of you guys just talk too long. Seriously, a lot of you guys gotta learn how to close. Like you come in and you tell a little story. Hey, so I got the sweet supplement. Do you want it? I don't know. Anyways, love to be able to give some to you. It's like $10. Do you want to get some right now? They're like, what? Wow, right? The only scenario we can go that fast into the close is when you're ready with a huge quiver of arrows to come back with a whole bunch of other objection-solving resolutions and stories, and okay, I know what objections this guy's going to go for, okay? It is a dance. It's a game. This is a sport, okay? It's a sport, okay? I always know, and guys, you can do the exact same thing. I always know what the major objections are going to be within the first 3 weeks of selling anything. Why? Because everybody thinks their scenario is different. They're not. You hear the same 5 or 6 objections to selling your product right now from every person, don't you? Right? Oh, I talked to my spouse. Not enough money. Not enough time. I don't know if I'm allergic. Let me talk over here, right? It's the exact same freaking objections. And so what your task is as any salesperson, any business owner ever, is to understand the major objections that people have to buying your product, okay? And then have a 1 or 2 pre-created arrows in your quiver for it, so that when you hear it and you feel that that guy's about to give it to you, you're like, I'm sorry, you said you wanted to buy? So like, no, and you fire that one back again. Fire them back. Oh, I got a story for that one. Oh, got a story for that one. Oh, story for that one. And every time you tell a story, you close again, right? And then they're the one guiding the sale, because they tell you the next objection. I don't need to know what their objections are going to be. I need to know what their most likely will be. And I need to know what my answers to them are and how to close again. Guys, this is how you close quickly, okay? You don't need to, sometimes I feel like people just wait way too long to go for closes, and it's because, number one, they don't have the actual drugs running inside the person's brain, okay? That's very, very important, okay? But number two, they go in and they don't understand what the most likely objections will be. You don't know, like when sales script writing, that's what writing that huge list of false beliefs is. Okay, that's you pre-identifying, when I show you my new product, what is going to be all of the objections, what are the things that's going to stop me at the pass? And they're going to drop down and go, I see that cures every ailment in my life, but I got to talk to my spouse first. And you're like, are you kidding me? Right? List them all down, know the story that breaks it, and then know that you're in this dance. And when you're doing the script, all you're doing is you're looking to go, okay, I see that he probably got 5-6 walls that he's got right behind his pocket. And as soon as I say, you need to buy this, right? And you don't need to do this in a high pressure scenario, guys, right? A lot of times when I say these kinds of things, people are like, but I don't want to pressure people. Okay. Okay. That's not even, if you're pressuring people, it means you're not telling stories. Okay. If people feel like they're being pressured, your stories are not good enough. And do MLMs teach that? No, they don't teach any of that stuff. And it's the reason why MLM gets the rap it does about people feeling pressured, right? I joined an MLM, but I don't want to tell anybody because they're going to feel pressured. Okay, that means you have no idea how to tell stories. And number two, you don't know what objections you need to be answering. Isn't that fascinating? So that's all the game is. And it is one of the most fun games ever. I love sales psychology. Putting it on the internet and building a funnel around it, like that's amazing. It's auto pitching it 24/7, but at the core of it, man, that's nothing if you can't do this. Does that make sense? So my challenge to each one of you guys, and Billy, I know I've gone for a while. I actually have to get off soon. I'm supposed to be on something else here soon. Okay. My challenge to each one of you guys is to start writing down all the objections you get when you are A, selling your product, or B, selling your opportunity. And as you begin to list out all the objections, those are what false beliefs are. Okay. Oh, that's a false belief you got there. Huh. Interesting. What are the top ones about the product that I hear most frequently? The top ones about products. Top ones about someone's ability internally to pull it off. Top ones about someone's external resources and ability to pull it off. And as you write those down, oh man, beautiful. What's awesome about it is it becomes the fuel for both the sales script and the offer to set you apart from everybody inside your upline and your downline. And it is not challenging. It is literally a different way to speak about your stuff. That's all it is. Okay, and you can toss in a few extra things here and there. Man, go to freaking YouTube and say, hey, I got some sweet videos here that'll help you X, Y, and Z. You don't even have to sell them, right? When you buy my product, I'm going to give you X, Y, and Z videos that are about this kind of supplement and why it's so important. It doesn't have to be yours, okay? Go to YouTube. It's public domain. Search that stuff and send them the URLs afterwards. Bam, you just provided more value than anyone in your upline or downline is even thinking that they could, okay? Anyway, man, today's been a freaking rant. I'm loving this rant today. This is a good one.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Hey, remember to leave feedback for me on iTunes. Part of today's challenge in MLM is knowing how to teach your downline all of this stuff, right? Would you like me to help you teach your own downline 5 simple recruiting tips for free? If so, go download the free MLM Masters Pack by subscribing to this podcast at secretmlmhacksradio.com. The course is free and it'll help explain to your team what I'm doing and what you're learning. It also gets sent straight to your inbox. Just go download it at secretmlmhacksradio.com.